is it necessary to regulate the press? And as Maha already mentioned, the topic is very, very broad. I'm going to narrow it down, but just to say a few words on the issue, is it necessary to regulate the press? My personal view is that all power must be accompanied by responsibility. All freedom must be guided by restraints. Freedom per se has no value. It is what freedom is for. It's the use to which it is put. It's the sense of responsibility with which it is exercised. In Malaysia, the issue of regulation of the press is basically about Printing Presses Act, Official Secrets Act, but actually the issues are far, far broader. We do not have in this country a Supreme Parliament. We have a Supreme Constitution, Article 4, Clause 1, Article 162, Clause 6, and that really means that any law passed by Parliament can be challenged in the courts as unconstitutional if it violates any provision of the Constitution. Freedom of speech or freedom of expression is of course not unlimited. The Constitution, however, has prescribed the permissible limits. So Parliament cannot impose any restriction that it likes or it feels necessary. The restrictions are prescribed in Article 10, Clause 2A. For example, there are 8 limits: public order, national security, incitement to an offence, friendly relations with other states, contempt of court, contempt of parliament, defamation, morality. So any parliamentary restriction, any parliamentary law, whether Official Secrets Act, Printing Presses Act, Internal Security Act, Defamation Act, must fall within one of these 8 permissible restrictions. I have a more happier case to report, the recent case of CIS Forum. CIS Forum, I published a book. The book was sold for 2 years without any incident, and then a Muslim group read the book and had some objections to the book, and on that ground the minister banned the book. CIS Forum challenged the ban, and Justice Muhammad Arif, I'm particularly delighted that it was Justice Arif, because he was an academician before he became a judge. So not all academicians are bad, he gave an excellent decision. He said, I've read the book, I've read the 7 offending passages. I find there's nothing offending about them. For 2 years these passages were circulated freely. No public order or riots took place. He also said that he is conscious of the fact that in the Printing Presses Act, the minister's discretion is absolute, but he said absolute does not mean that I cannot examine whether the minister acted on proper evidence. So what was really an absolute, unfettered, unlimited discretion in the Printing Presses Act, Justice Arif, by following decisions from many other jurisdictions and also actually aspects of Malaysian administrative law, he said he will still examine whether the minister had reasonable ground to ban the book. And he found that the minister had not addressed himself to the issues of public order, national security. He was convinced that the book has no implications for public order, and as such, the minister is excused that a Muslim organization has objected to the book is not a sufficient ground. Actually, there are about 35 to 40 laws that directly or indirectly impinge on press freedom. We all know about the Sedition Act, the Printing Presses Act, Official Secrets Act, Internal Security Act, very strong provisions about banning subversive publications, Defamation Act. But actually there are lots of other laws, Indecent Advertisements Act, Protected Areas and Protected Places Act, Penal Code, Public Order Preservation Act, in Lotteries Act, Medicines Advertisement Act, Court of Judicature Act, Judicial Proceedings, Regulation of Reports. So this is a very large number of laws actually that can be used to restrict press freedom. Further, please bear in mind that press or media freedom is nowhere mentioned in the Constitution. What the Constitution basically does is to provide that every citizen has the right to freedom of speech and expression. That freedom of speech and expression has a clear constitutional dimension, and I'm sorry to report to you that this dimension is largely ignored by Parliament.
The conclusion will be two, obviously. One, if you want the media to be regulated at all, and two, that there had to be some form of regulation. I am glad that our previous speakers, including the speaker for the Senate, suggested that freedom without any responsibility is bad. There is a thing about responsibility, and fair and reasonable control to regulate the press. This was the word by, I think, the speaker. We are living in a society where as much as you have the right, the freedom to do what you want, you cannot do whatever you want. Law should just be a governing principle. But if we are right, if we are right in our values, then we should be fine.
Akta Malaysia Cetak yang telah disepakati sehingga kini bahawa ia memang menjadi batu penghalang utama pada kebebasan media yang menjadi sebab kita berkumpul pada hari ini. Setiap tahun pada 3 Mei kita akan meraihkannya. 5 tahun lalu saya diberi peluang untuk berucap di majlis yang sebegini yang dianjurkan oleh ADCOM dengan kerjasama PBB, dan turut serta di pentas pada ketika itu adalah Tunku Abdul Aziz, iaitu pengurusi Malaysia Chapter, TR Malaysia Chapter pada ketika itu. Di majlis itu saya tegaskan persoalan utama dalam isu Akta Malaysia Cetak ini adalah untuk menjaga keselamatan. Persoalan yang saya bangkitkan adalah keselamatan siapa kau? Itu. Adakah ia untuk keselamatan negara kita ataupun untuk keselamatan kerajaan yang ada?
We have been at this stage, at this kind of forum for years and years and years already. But have we advanced even 1 centimeter? Or not 1 centimeter, 1 millimeter? We haven't advanced in our struggle to get a freer press in this country. Nothing. What have we done? How have we failed in this? I mean, we should fight. What about the NGOs? Are they helping us to fight for this? Every time there is a failure somewhere, it's the press. The press refuses to give us publicity. But why aren't they helping us to get that kind of freedom for us to play our role better? Okay, we celebrate every year. We say we celebrate World Press Freedom Day. Are we celebrating World Press Freedom Day, or are we just acknowledging, noting that other people elsewhere are celebrating World Press Freedom Day? What do? We just, yeah, they are celebrating World Press Freedom Day. We here just note the fact that other people are celebrating while we, like a cat outside a bottle, fish, it's looking at that, salivating, but no freedom. But still, within this limitation, within this constraint, we have produced good newspapers.